Yeah, guys, welcome back again for lesson 3 in our lecture. I hope and I guess you are learning as we are going along, right? Like I told you before, when you are doing a program, you might somehow say it's difficult, but as you get along with it, it becomes very simple. And trust me, as we are starting these lectures from scratch, I believe that you too, at the end of the beginner's level, you might able to use what a Microsoft Excel well, right? Of course, if you want to learn more tips and tricks and of course more interview questions, coding, then you will have to go to an advanced level. But for the beginners level, the basic that you need to know about Microsoft Excel, I hope you are getting along with it. Now, we are talking of our cells and columns in Microsoft Excel in this lesson, right? Um, when you open Microsoft Excel by default, you might see gray lines intercepted each other. And if you click around any of it, you might see a thick rectangular border around it that shows this is the cell you have selected, right? A cell is where a row and a column intersect. Now, let's talk first about a cell, okay? Let's talk first about a cell. When we talk about a cell, it's where a row and a column intersect. If you click here, you can see what a thick red border around here that shows this is a cell you have selected. And if you want to identify the type of cell you have selected, we have what? Two different ways. One is to look at what? Up here. If you look up here, we have A, B, C, D, E, alphabetic going what? Onwards, you see? And of course, if you look at this side here, we have rules. And we have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Going downwards also. Now, these are the alphabetic and these are what the numeric. So what do you do if you want to identify a cell? You look at what? The alphabetic that is being highlighted and also the row that is being what? Highlighted, the number that is being highlighted. Now, if I click here, you can see the words B here is highlighted and 6 also here is highlighted. And if I click here, you can see D is highlighted and 6 is highlighted. If I click here, you can see D is also highlighted, but this time around 9 is highlighted. That tells you what? This is cell D9. If you click here, C is highlighted and 6 is highlighted. That tells you what? This is cell C6. If I click here, you can see F is highlighted and 13 here is highlighted. That shows this is F13. I hope you are going along with me. If I click here also, you can see A is highlighted here and 2 is highlighted. That shows this is cell A2. When you click, if you want to identify the cell quickly, just look at what the alphabetic that is being highlighted here and also the number that is being highlighted here in something like a yellow color here. That says what? This is cell E9. So I hope you are now getting along on how to know a particular cell. And also, another second way to identify cell in Microsoft Excel is by looking at the name box. This is what we call the name box. You see, I mentioned earlier on in my last lesson that if you want to know a particular function, what will be done, if you click on it, just hover your mouse on it, it will tell you the name or the function that is entailed in that area. As I hover my mouse over here, you can see we have a name box. This is what we call a name box. The name box also help you to what? Know the name of the cell you have selected. When you click here, you see we have here cell C7. C is highlighted here and 7 is highlighted. So it is cell C7 as you can see here. If you click here, you can see F is highlighted and 10 is highlighted. That is cell F10. And if you look at the name box here, you can see cell F10. Right? So that's how we talk of a cell. I hope now you know what is a cell. Now let's talk of rows and columns in Microsoft Excel. Now let's talk of rows and column. We have just talked of cells. Now it's rows and column. When we want to talk of what? Rows. The numeric side here you are seeing is what we call rows. If you click here, this is row 7. If you click here, this is row 9. If you click here, this is row 11. If you click here, this is row 4. right? So you see that if we click here also, we have row 8, right? And if we click here, we have column C. And if we click here, we have column E. And if you click here, we have column G. So let's just take it out. The alphabetic here are columns. The alphabetic here are columns, while the numeric here are rows. I hope you have get that. These are rows and these are columns. That's why I said a cell is where a row and a row and a column intersect. We have a cell. I hope we are learning and we are getting along little by little. Now we have know what is a cell, we have know what are columns, and we have know what are rows. Now let's talk of ranges in Excel. Range. So now let's talk of ranges in Excel, right? If you are asked to select a range in Excel, B2 all the way to cell C7. Now this is the range that you have been given. Cell B2 and cell C7. You are to select the range cell B2 all the way to cell C7. This is the range, right? And this is a mixed cell. We have cell B2 and this is cell C7. This is a mixed cell. Now, first thing you need to know is to select the first cell. And the first cell we have here is cell B2. So you have to look for B here, which is a column, and the row here, that's a number 2. So B2 is here. So we have to select this one. And when you select, you can see B is highlighted and 2 here is also highlighted. That is B2. Now that you have get the first cell, now drag it all the way to the next cell, and the next cell is C7. So first thing, let's get C here. And if you got C here, what you need to do, drag it to the number of C. Now C7 is all the way down where this range is selected. You see that? Now this is this cell B2 all the way to C7 range we have selected. Now let's assume you are given another range that you have to select cell cell C7 all the way to E12. Now this is another range that you have been given to select. How do you select this range? Like I just mentioned earlier on, the first thing you have to do is try to first click on this first cell. Now the first cell we have in this range here is cell C7. So we have to select C here, and so we see C is highlighted and 7 here is highlighted. That means this is cell C7. Now drag it to another cell, and the other cell is E. So let's first look for E here, and this is E. See, E is highlighted. Now let's look for the number for E, and E12 is down here. Cool. That is the range for cell C7 all the way to E12. I hope now you are learning and know how to select a range in Excel. So far, guys, I hope my guys and my beginners members there are learning. In this lesson, we have learned what are cells. We say cells are where columns and rows intersect. And if you select, you can see a tick border around, a rectangular tick border around to show that this is the cell you have selected. Right? We have talked of rows here, and we have talked of columns. The alphabetic here, just take it to be the columns, and the numeric here, just take it to be the rows. And how to identify a cell, we have talked in two ways. You look at the alphabetic that's being highlighted and the number that is being highlighted. And if you look at this alphabetic D is highlighted and the number 5 is highlighted, this is cell D5. And another way to identify a cell is by the name box here. If you hover your mouse over here, you can see that we have name box, and in the name box it shows what the name of the cell that is being selected. I hope we are learning. Now let's look forward for
Thanks for watching lesson 3. Watch next for lesson 4.
And thanks for being part of this lesson.